Furthur arrives at CoSM, the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors, a sanctuary built by visionary artists Alex and Allyson Grey to inspire and evolve the creative spirit. Some have called these two luminaries leaders of the second psychedelic revolution.
You weren't on the first ride at all. You didn't even exist then.
No, I was on it some for like 1,000 miles or so.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
I was really little.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, my God, you must have been only a few years old.
I was old enough to remember it. I mainly remember painting the bus.
Uh-huh.
And that just seemed like the most natural thing in the world to a 3-year-old.
That's right. Well, everybody's an artist till they get shut down.
It has 3 floors and 10 bedrooms.
Now, that's the cosmic crisis. When I was working on it, I heard a voice that said, "You can never be lost. When have you ever been apart from me? You can never depart and never return, for we are continuous, indistinguishable."
We're building Entheon, which is going to be an exhibition hall, but also for all kinds of gatherings.
We can look back at the 60s and see the roots of our conscience being molded by the battles that were happening at that time. It was a time of division between the generations. They were starting to see through what Leary called the TV game show reality that the media presents to us. You step outside of that and see what's really going on cosmically, which you can do through studying science, or you can do through taking LSD. For many in the 60s, this was an important breakthrough moment, a time when they got to see life from the infinite perspective, from the I don't understand what's going on in reality, and I really understand that I'll never understand what's going on the deepest level, but I can be in contact with that mystery. And for many people, and for myself, that was a spiritual breakthrough.
I see this movement of the Furthur bus and CoSM and all the nodes of the festival network all over the world as a flow that is ongoing and has never stopped. What can you share about the experience of growing up with a very well-known person as a parent?
I wasn't as aware back then of how well-known he was. A lot of that went over my head. In general, I was just, a farm kid, and that's what Dad had in mind. And he was very strict on one hand, and then when it was time to play, we'd go off and do some really weird shit.
Did you go places with him where he was recognized, or?
Oh, yeah. When you'd go to a Dead concert and things like that. We'd also go to some really weird places, like, going to Egypt with the Dead was dynamite.
How old were you at that time?
Oh, it was my senior year. I remember being really upset because I wanted to stay home and watch some other band. Who was it? Boston.
Next stop, Millbrook, New York, to the former headquarters of psychedelic pioneers Timothy Leary and Richard Alpert, later known as Ram Dass. 50 years ago, these men were considered the leaders in mind-altering drug research. Ken and the Pranksters decided to drop in on these East Coast counterparts. Rumor has it, however, they received less than a warm welcome when they arrived.
Go away. Should I be more hospitable than Larry was?
Hello.
Hi.
Zinc easy.
And any of you on the original venture?
A little bit.
Oh, a little bit. Well, yeah, I guess if you can remember it, you weren't there. Why don't you guys come in and take a look around?
They were just two radically different schools of thought. Leary and Alpert, they were professors at Harvard University, and their entire approach was research-based. Where Keezy and the gang, it was really a cultural revolution, I think. When the bus was going around America then, I mean, it was freaking people the fuck out. They were like, what is this? Who are these people? They're crazy. They escaped from a mental institution. So that was an equally powerful approach. It was not Timothy's approach at all.
Far from telling people they should take LSD, my message to young people is, since you're going to take it anyway, be careful when you take it. Take it for the right reasons. Take it in a sense of seriousness, and take it well prepared. And don't take it unless you know what you're getting into.
Funny to think of people like Tim Leary and Dick Albert as being conservative, but from our perspective, they were using acid in a conservative manner. That's very valuable, but I think that by us doing it in the blatant, crazed manner that we did, we drew a lot of attention. Attention to alternative levels of consciousness. And that's the goal. That's the goal of all this shit. Alternative levels of consciousness.
This lecture on how to use your head could be summed up in one sentence. You have to go out of your mind to use your head.
We're all born and when we come into age and we're given all of these constructs to work with, working and going to school and achieving something. What psychedelics do is they kind of give you that little inkling that everything that you know is wrong. Everything that you think reality is, it isn't. And psychedelics are an amazing tool to sort of come around the backside of your lens and go, oh shit, things can be looked at in a different way.
Turn on, tune in, and drop out.
If people choose to have an experience with psychedelics, I think it creates a more connected and aware community. It's allowing us to see the impact that we have on ourselves and our environment and the whole world, and it just helps you sort of like see things in a bigger context.
I'm not a believer that LSD is for everybody. It's really not. And of course, the 60s was lightning in a bottle and there was such an explosion, and the hippie revolution, there were some downsides, there were some dark sides, But I think we've grown up from that now, and we're making good on our promise. And so psychedelics are fascinating and a powerful tool for us to tackle our great big problems that we're experiencing today.
I think that entheogens or psychedelics are a religious and civil right. They're the only proven, scientifically proven means to accessing the mystical experience.
Create the perfect environment, because you're not going to do it I'm not going to do it that often. So it's got to be, everything's beautiful, and every worry and care in my life is set somewhere else aside for now. Make sure that you make something from that experience beautiful in the world, whatever it is, before you go ahead and do it again. Because this is, I think, the gift that Alex says this, the gift that we're supposed to help this beleaguered planet. So, make beauty. Make beauty. It really makes you want to make beauty. And I think having this bus and making all your stops, and you're making such beauty. It's a piece, it's a performance art. It's a work of community, co-collaborative.
Waging peace.
Waging peace. There you go.
Because you miss everything.